In the last video, I showed you how to import video or photos and add it to your different sequences. Now I'm going to show you how to use text and add and edit text. So first I'm going to go to this media 3, which is the part of this transition that I don't have yet. So I'm just going to double click that, and you have your different layers again, and you can add text or you can edit the text that's already there. And if you purchase an After Effects template that has text already there, like a lower third title or an intro title, typically there will be a layer of text that you are supposed to change. You're not supposed to add it on your own, you're just supposed to edit what they've already created. And to do that, you can double click the text in this project window, or in the viewer I mean, or double click the text down here in the timeline. And once you double click, it's highlighted. Your text tool up here also shows. So if you have your regular selection tool, you can click and move things around. Or if you have your text tool selected and just select the text, you can also edit that way. Now, you just edit the text as if you have a regular word processor. So I'm just going to select all, delete, and call this After Effects template video. Okay, so now you can see that there's lots I have to do with this, and they give you different windows to edit text. If you don't see character and paragraph, go up to Window and click on Character and Paragraph. Now this is your typical editing, text editing stuff. You can change the spacing, you can change the size, you can change the font. Let's choose something kind of cool. You could change the color by clicking this white block over here or whatever color it is and changing the color that way. You can change the width, the height, all sorts of things. And then you can also change the paragraph settings, so you can center it, right align, left align, whatever you want. So let's center it. And then I'm going to take my selection tool, because if I take my text tool and try to move this text around, it's not going to work. So I can take this around and move it and just put it in the center of your composition. Okay. Another way to easily center things, this is getting a little bit advanced, but under the Align tab, which you can again go to Window and Align, you can click these different buttons to horizontally and vertically align the text in certain ways. Okay, so this looks pretty good, but say I want my text bigger. And instead of doing this and having to change the spacing between the lines, there's a different way to change the size of text. And this is really the only type of edit I'm going to show you to do in your timeline. But if you have your text layer selected, so go ahead and select your text, hit S on your keyboard, and that brings up scale. Or you can twirl down this layer and bring up more options by hitting that little triangle, and you will see these different transform properties. You have anchor point, position, scale, rotation, opacity. We don't need to get into any of those except for scale. So just hit S and that brings up scale. And now I can increase the size of this text and it will be perfectly sharp, and I don't have to mess with any of these character settings. So that's another way to edit text. Okay, so now let's go back to that transition that I had before, and you can see here that in here you see the title, but it's a little too big. So I can go back to your Media 3, decrease the size of this text, and go back to Transition 17, and there is my text. Now let's see if any of these other ones use the 3 media sequences, and this one does. Let's go to 19, see what that does. So yes, there's lots of different sequences and transitions that use all 3 sequences. And let's just go ahead and back to my Media 1 and try it one more time. So this time I'm going to delete my video media that I added. So I'm just going to select that Phil Ebner intro, hit delete on the keyboard. It's not there anymore. We have this Your Media text right here, but I'm just going to turn that off. I'm going to show you how to add new text. And that's clicking this text tool, clicking on your composition, and then typing. So now I can use my selection tool, click and move it around. I can use my character settings over here to change the size of the font, or like I learned before, I can click on this text, press S to bring up scale, and increase or decrease. You can also rotate. This is another transformation property of each layer by pressing R, bringing up rotation, and rotating your text. So now if I go to any of these other transitions, you can see that it goes from sequence 1, or the Your Media 1, to Your Media 2. If we go to those other ones we were doing, like 17, there you have both layers that have text, plus the one with video. So that's how you add and edit text within your project.